What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Looking good, Phil.
we made it to Colorado.
Yeah?
We're already having paranormal stuff. There's no number on a room. To it, we had a key, but the it, it wasn't even locked, and we've been driving around for like 45 minutes, and our room don't even have a number. We're staying in my guest,
All right. Definitely
and the
excited
number
to
on
talk
my
about
key don't match the room is supposed to be either.
definitely excited to talk about where you're at and what's going on there. Before we kick into that,
If I drop
we'll
out,
go a little
we got some storms rolling through. I might lose service here and there, but
we'll just
if it
keep it
rains, I might
rolling and
have to
see
get
what
under the
happens.
roof.
All right, we'll go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah.
So, of course, we got the Chestnut House.
Want to start with the news?
I'll kick it off with our Chestnut House.
Chestnut House. Manchester, Kentucky, Chestnut House. You can do daytime tours, or your paranormal group can rent it out for all. Mr. Chestnut was a coffin maker, so that house originally, if he made a coffin for you, he would rent the front room out, owed you a coffin. That house was originally, he was a coffin maker. So if you want to go to the Chestnut House in Manchester, Kentucky, then book with the 502-783-7420.
These are all the upcoming podcasts and stuff. Everybody, check them guys out. All of them are awesome shows. Super fun to watch.
Yeah, we got our show, Supernatural Sundays, on Sunday. We have Paranormal Talk on Monday, where we talk about what we may have done over the weekend and have other groups come in, talk about their evidence, footage. Compare Unity. CM's Horror Emporium on Tuesdays. She talks about horror movies, horror type video games, and anything horror related. Could be anything from producers, costume makers, directors, actors, anything horror related. We have hashtag paranormal on Wednesdays, and that's with Tim. And Tim just has folks get on there and they talk about all their scary stories and scary activities that they've dealt with. Thursdays is Positively Paranormal with Star, and she has the whole vibe going on, spiritual. Sometimes she has other medium type folks on, or she'll have clergy on, or anyone dealing with spiritual side of things. And then Friday we have the lighter side of paranormal, which is all about stuff that happens out there when you're doing paranormal investigations. And that's our lineup, 6 days a week, all the paranormal stuff.
So apparently the Vatican is preparing people because we about to be seeing supernatural beings, demons, apparitions. And so they're getting ready to give us the guidelines, right? And so even schools are setting up drill tests in case aliens come. This teacher went on record to say that. Schools are having drills, test lockdowns for skinwalkers. Last but not least, they're preparing you for the demon face syndrome. In my opinion, two things are going to go down. The fake alien invasion, or they're going to release demonic creatures above ground. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this.
That's pretty wild, right?
So, yeah, that gonna try to throw everybody off their game.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty wild.
It sounds
They're
like a
starting to prep
diversion.
people and get people ready.
Absolutely. I don't know about no underground demons. I think they could just go anywhere they want. That almost sounds like one of those cave creatures.
It kind of sounds like that Cabin in the Woods movie where they have everything kind of dormant and they just let it out.
Yeah. Yeah, those Cabin in the Woods movies are pretty spooky. I
found this little basement. Freaking weird. Oh my god!
For the video, I guess you're going to start seeing stuff. I mean, people have trail cams and stuff everywhere. Real or not, who knows?
Phil's cutting out.
I don't know about the guy.
that trap door would be handy if there's a basement down there. That trap door would be handy in a tornado. Just pop the hatch, dive down, grab your bottle of water and your phone and some beef jerky and ride it out.
It's always safety first, right? This next one's one that I found on there.
Absolutely.
This guy's saying he saw something at his house, got a little video feed of it, and he thinks it looks like a vampire. So, of course, that's why it caught my attention. Super funny. But we'll see. I mean, I guess it does kind of look like the old film, kind of like Nosferatu kind of look.
So here's the full video. If you saw the story, you know, last night I saw something in the house that, as crazy as it sounds, to me looked like a vampire. I'm just going to show you the video. Here we go. Okay, trying again. Hearing sounds up here, like somebody's moving around. This stuff's been happening, but as soon as I pull my phone out, everything stops. I don't know. I don't know. I swear I heard somebody up here. Holy shit, I don't know what happened. That thing vanished, and my camera stopped recording immediately. At the same time, it's gone. Here's a slowed down version of what you saw, brightened and close up. I'm gonna post a still. I'm not sure how well you can see it. It turned like an old man to the door, lurched forward, and vanished. Honestly, at a loss for what to do from here, but I'll keep you guys updated.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
That was fast.
Yeah.
Man, that was a quick one.
Did look kind of weird, didn't it?
It's hard to tell when it's a shadow. Yeah, it's hard to tell if it's a shadow. But if you're not moving and something goes by and there's no one else in the house, and it's like, okay, and there's nothing driving by or nothing walking by, or if you're in a room with no windows, that's pretty crazy.
It definitely did look pretty wild. So this next one, look. So this was some stuff some EMTs had caught. And they feel it's kind of like maybe a reaper or something, maybe. Then a hospital, so it's always going to be kind of weird there. You know, you got a lot of bad things that could happen there, a lot of good things too, but...
On October 25th of 2022, a paramedic posted a video of something freaky that occurred during his lunch break. The video is pretty short, so not much happens, but it's a certain detail caught in this footage that makes it quite disturbing. The video begins with the paramedic filming inside a hospital where a couple of surgeons are getting ready to transfer a very sick patient to a different wing. The paramedic walks out of the hospital to record them coming through. It isn't until later that the doctors arrive with the sick patient, who according to them passed away only hours later. The paramedic then stops recording. Now, it was only after finishing work that the paramedic had watched this video and noticed something strange about it. Looking back at the footage, they noticed that during the time they were waiting outside for the doctors to arrive, something unusual was caught in the background. Take a look. If you look closely at the hallway inside the hospital, a dark, shadow-like figure can be seen standing at the end of the hall. It's there for just a few seconds before suddenly disappearing from sight. The paramedic has no idea as to who or even what this might have been, but judging by its appearance, viewers believe that an entity of some sort was seen. They further add that this entity might have been death itself, considering that the patient in this video passed away that same day. Yet it's still not sure as to what was captured. But one thing that's certain is that whoever or whatever this was didn't seem to belong in this hospital. It remains unknown as to who or what was caught on camera.
I don't know.
Is that
It was
supposed
down
to
a
be
dark
like
hall, shooting from outside.
the
It could have been some kind of light cast or something, man.
I it was the video was a little sideways, but I could see it. It looked to me like it could have been the Grim Reaper or like the death, like whoever comes to get you when it's time to go, the death messenger, the soul taker.
Shadow
Like
Outlay
he
definitely
comes
looked like
and
a
it's
cloak,
like
or
time
kind
to
of had
go,
like some kind of
time's up.
cloak.
Yeah, like it had like a long coat, like the Grim Reaper or something like that. It had like a shadow coming down like a cloak. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I got a
They're
little
always
something
getting
for you,
stuff like that in
Phil.
hospitals, man. Hospitals are active.
Well, yeah, if you have all that, I mean, look at all the death that happens. Surrounded by it.
Absolutely.
So I got a little something special for you, Phil, right here.
We call this the paranormal
Cool.
paramoo. And if a spirit or any kind of anyone comes around and ring the cowbell, then we know something's around. And just in case we don't have enough cowbell, we got more cowbell down here.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell. I could have used a little more cowbell. I could have used a little more cowbell.
More.
Oh, yeah. Got to have more cowbell because you can't have enough cowbell with just one cowbell. You got to have more cowbell.
All right, so those next things we're going to talk about. Anybody wants to pipe in on any of the videos or something, maybe got a comment or something or a question about those videos, we take them just as you guys take them. We see them, kind of give our thoughts on them and stuff like that. So Phil's been on a road trip this last week and going to some locations and seeing some stuff. That first place, one of the first ones we're going to talk about is I'll let him go ahead and bring it in as an intro. He's got a little video here for you.
Phil Billy reporting here from the grave of Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane up here in Deadwood, South Dakota. Bill is famous for inventing the dead man's hand after he was shot. His hand, the poker he was playing was aces and eights, and that's what he's famous for. We're here in Deadwood, coming to check out. The whole town is haunted, so we're here on location.
All right, so Deadwood, give us some talks about it, Phil.
Well, it was originally a gold mining town, and they were mining gold up until recently, till the mine kind of got flooded out and the gold prices went down, and it wasn't viable to keep it going. The Hearst family ran that mine for a long time, made billions of dollars of gold out of there. The whole town was based on that. So when you bring in gold, in comes the saloons and the brothels and the casinos. So there's still a lot of casinos there, saloons. I think they've shut down most of the brothels, but it's very famous for Wild Bill Hickok, and he was famous for being a lawman down in I think it was Abilene, and there was a shootout, the OK Corral, and all that kind of stuff. Him and Doc Holliday. So then he accidentally shot one of his deputies, so he was pretty tore up over that. So he came up to South Dakota to just kind of get away from everything and just kind of, chill out. And that's where he met Calamity Jane. We're not sure if they ever really hooked up or not, but because he was married to a different lady. But anyway, she wanted to be buried next to him. And she was a rootin' tootin' gal herself. She wore her gun belt and her pants like a man, and we go out and ride horses and do everything. And she was a little down on her luck when she finally passed away. And but she wanted to be buried next to Wild Bill, so all the townspeople and everything came together and made sure she got buried next to him. And on her gravestone, there's a little flower planter, and it looks like a little goblin on there, a devil-looking demon thing. And right next to it's the I think her name was Bates or Bats. She run the brothel, and her and Kate Bass were very good friends. That's Calamity Jane's real name. But anyway, she helped her out, and so when she passed away, she helped pay for the funeral and everything. That's why she has the same flower planters on her grave. And funny story, there's a little white tombstone next to the brothel owner's grave, and that was her parrot. And he ate a fake grape off of somebody's hat and died. But they want to make sure they buried that parrot, make sure he was dead, because he knew the whole business and could tell all of her secrets. So he's buried next to her. And so that was really interesting. Cemetery, Mariah Hill. It's probably, I don't know how many thousand feet up it is. It was straight up to go up there. And we took a little bus ride up there. Shout out to Kevin Costner. Took the Kevin Costner bus ride up there. And they said every once in a while he gets on the bus just to sit on the bus, and people don't notice him right away. Then they're like, well, hell, there's Kevin Costner. And pretty cool. And went up there and toured the cemetery. It was the first flag up there that the government allowed to be up 24 hours in the United States. So there's a little plaque up there for that, for the veterans, and that flag never comes down 24/7. So and you can see the flag from the town, but the whole town's pretty much haunted. Every store owner I went in has got a story. One lady was working the casino, and she cleans up of a night, and she went around to pick up the cups and everything. And she come back, and the cups were all spread out on the table again. And her name was Diane. Shout out to Diane, the tour lady. And she was saying at the end of the night, she heard, "Hey, Diane." She thought it was her boss calling her, so, to go help her with something. So she came around the corner, and she goes, "Yeah, what do you need?" And her boss looked right at her and goes, "I heard it too." So that was a pretty good first account story. The guy that runs the saloon where Wild Bill was killed, he said, "I don't know if Wild Bill's here." He goes, "But there's definitely a couple ghosts in here." He said stuff moves, all kind of crazy stuff happens in that whole town, paranormal. So it'd be a good spot to come back sometime and try to do some investigations. They have tours, and some of the business owners will allow. I talked to a lady that owns 2 homes. She's got rental properties that she would be willing to, if you stay there, rent it out for the weekend, you can ghost hunt to your heart's delight.
Yeah, we got a couple videos about the area.
But Wild Bill, he was shot in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was shot in the back, and when he died, they picked up his cards, and he had aces and eights. So that's the famous dead man's hand. That's where that came from. That was the hand he was holding when he died. That's where the whole dead man's hand comes from, that town and Wild Bill.
Yep. Here's one of those videos about the location.
Cool.
Well, a little video.
Pretty sweet.
And then you'd mentioned some of the ghost tours and stuff. They do ghost tours around the area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this little clip too.
The saloon.
We went on a ghost tour in South Dakota in Deadwood. This is some of what I captured. Floating away. Yellow orb. Nothing in hallway. Something now there. Zooming in. What the actual fuck?
Yeah, Phil, what the actual fuck, man?
That was a little short goblin.
Yeah.
That might have been a child spirit. It was pretty short, or a child's spirit, or a little person.
Man, I found this too. He's talking about Deadwood, man. It's a pretty neat little video.
Ask and you shall receive, as we look at South Dakota on the most haunted states in America, specifically Deadwood. Now, Deadwood has an extensive past dating back to Wild West. Actually, Wild Bill once called this home, and he was shot and killed here in a saloon while playing poker by Jack McCall. He was laid to rest right here in Mount Moriah Cemetery, along with Calamity Jane. Now, this town has an extensive past of being haunted. The Fairmount Hotel, to the Bullock Hotel, the Adams House, the cemetery, and it's got an extensive past. You guys think it's true? Let's jump forward. Wounded Knee, otherwise known for the Wounded Knee Massacre, where 200 men and women and children alike lose their lives at the hands of the United States Army. It said you can still hear voices, you can still hear screams and cries of children who were present at the time of the massacre, along with see shadows and visions that aren't really there. Or are they? Lastly, we look at the Devil's Gulch. This spot infamously is known where Jesse James made a daring escape and jumped the gulch while he was evading police after robbing a bank. But that's not why we're looking at it. We're looking at it for the story of the crossed lovers who lost their lives here when they were both killed. It's said they're still here. And maybe they are. It's also said that they died holding each other. People claim to have seen them, heard them, along with other things. But what do you guys think? Are these stories true? Never know.
So when you're talking to everybody there, did anybody tell anything about those stories?
No, just other than the lady Diane heard her name called, and she went around and there was nobody there, and her boss heard it too. So it was two people heard it, and then there was one store owner who talked about stuff being moved around. He didn't say anything about hearing anything talking to him, but he did. He has stuff he'll put away and he comes back and it's all knocked over in the morning. One lady told me she had like these little, her grandkids were over at Hallie's toys, and she woke up in the middle of the night and the toys were all around her head on the pillow. So then she took them and put them back on the shelf and went back to bed. She woke up in the morning and all the toys were in her pockets. She moved. That was Deadwood.
So all in all, before we jump to your second location, I mean, any kind of closing thoughts or anything you want to say about the Deadwood area?
Deadwood, if you like casinos, you like bars, you like nostalgia, all the historical places are still there. The buildings have all been preserved. You can actually see where Wild Bill was gunned down. There's a tour you can go down where McCall was caught. They got a sign up where he was caught. And if you're into the paranormal, or you're just a history buff, or you just want a good weekend to get away, and you like to do have a little alcoholic beverages and do some gambling, and you like old Wild West towns, it'd be great.
One to go see. All right, we got your little
if you want to see a
introduction
shootout, about 4 or 5 times a day, they have a shootout. They shoot and then they reenact killing Wild Bill. They kill him like 4 or 5 times a day.
All right, here's your next location, which
He
was
walks
the Devil's
in,
Tower.
and play poker, they shoot him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Devil's Tower. Phil and Vinny reporting here from Devil's Tower, Wyoming, and this is where they filmed Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And we haven't seen any aliens yet on this trip, but this is a good spot to see them up here at the old Devil's Tower. Some people think it's a giant tree stump. Others, the Indians' legend is it was a smaller rock, and the giant bear came to attack everybody, and they climbed up on the rock, and the bear was going to get them, and they prayed and prayed and prayed, and the rock rose out of the ground and got them up so high the bear couldn't claw them. And all those striations you see are like claw marks from the giant bear trying to get at them. So anyway, here we are in Wyoming. We're out here by kind of like Gillette, Wyoming, Devil's Tower, coming at you from the Philbilly.
Yeah, I found a little thing here talking about Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's where it was filmed, and they had a lot of Close Encounters. They had like Close Encounters memorabilia there that you could go see, stuff that I didn't even know they had, board games, toys, all kind of stuff. It was really neat. You can camp right at the base of it. There's a KOA there.
I found this. This is kind of talking about, this is a little clip. We're talking about how like some of the events they put in the movie and stuff was actually stuff from like Project Blue Book and different things that they'd found and stories.
Ooh.
If you take Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that was made in 1977 by none other than Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg features the creatures and all that stuff. So all those reports, including Richard Dreyfuss's face being burned, came directly out of Project Blue Book files, the Air Force's own files. Steven Spielberg had cameo appearance of Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who investigated UFO reports in an official capacity for the United States Air Force. And those Close Encounters of the Third Kind that we talked about earlier, that's when the witnesses, claim to see occupants, beings associated with the craft. Those depictions from the witnesses were taken out of the files and right into the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
And there you go.
So they got all that information, flight characteristics, what the UFOs look like, what the beings look like out of Project Blue Book files.
It's absurd.
See, I didn't really know that.
I didn't know they took stuff out of No. I thought it was just Spielberg and George Lucas got together. I didn't know there was Project Blue Book stuff in that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, stories.
The whole
and like
Devil's Tower is different. Anything
people
around there. Yeah, if you look at that Devil's Tower, it doesn't look like any other mountain or rock formation or anything around there. It just shoots up out of that one spot, and the vertical sections don't look like any of the topography around there. It's pretty interesting. It looks kind of like a giant tree stump, but then there's like a chunk out of the front, and then the top looks kind of like it's broken down a little bit, like it's over the years from the weather and everything. But there were guys climbing it. We were there. It looked like little specks going up it. You can see them with binoculars.
Yeah.
If you ever want to go up to it, hike around, I recommend go early because it's a 2-mile wait in traffic to get up there, and there's hardly any parking up there, and you got to wait for a parking spot. So go right when it goes in the morning, or you'll be sitting there for 3 hours trying to park.
Oh, check this one out.
Exploring the paranormal mystique of Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower, an imposing geological feature that rises dramatically above the rolling plains of northeastern Wyoming, has long captivated the imaginations of those who visit. Known for its massive columnar basalt formations, this monolith has become a beacon for tourists, climbers, and cultural historians alike. However, its fame was catapulted into the realm of the paranormal and extraterrestrial by its prominent role in the 1977 Steven Spielberg movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Since then, Devil's Tower has been a hotbed of UFO folklore and mysterious tales, drawing both skeptics and believers to explore its potential connections to otherworldly visitors. Before it became a focal point for UFO enthusiasts, Devil's Tower held, and continues to hold, great cultural and spiritual significance for several Native American tribes, including the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Kiowa, known by names such as Bear Lodge, Bear's Tippy, and Tree Rock. This striking feature has been a site for prayer and renewal for centuries. The tales associated with it are deeply rooted in the spiritual, often involving giant bears and supernatural beings, adding layers of mystique to its towering presence. Hollywood's influence on perception. The release of Close Encounters of the Third Kind introduced Devil's Tower to audiences worldwide as a landing pad for alien spacecraft, permanently linking it to themes of interstellar travel and communication with extraterrestrial beings. The movie's climactic scenes depicting the tower as a meeting ground between humans and aliens have not only increased tourism but also spurred an ongoing association with UFOs. This portrayal taps into the broader American fascination with UFOs, which often places significant landmarks at the center of alien conspiracy theories and paranormal investigations. A hot spot for UFO sightings. Since its cinematic debut in the UFO narrative, there have been numerous reported UFO sightings in the vicinity of Devil's Tower. Enthusiasts and researchers are drawn to the area with the hope of witnessing anomalous lights or unexplained aerial phenomena. These sightings are often shared through local forums, blogs and social media, further cementing Devil's Tower's reputation as a hotspot for UFO activity. Whether these sightings are attributable to military aircraft from nearby bases, atmospheric phenomena, or indeed something truly unexplained, remains a subject of debate and intrigue. Skepticism and science. While the stories of paranormal activity and UFO sightings can be thrilling, they also attract skepticism. Scientists and skeptics argue that the natural beauty and distinct shape of Devil's Tower make it an easy target for fanciful theories and misidentified natural occurrences. Astronomers and geologists alike frequent the area, not in search of aliens, but to study its unique geological formations and clear, expansive night skies ideal for stargazing. The enduring allure. Regardless of one's beliefs about the paranormal or extraterrestrial life, the allure of Devil's Tower is undeniable. It embodies a crossroads of natural wonder, spiritual significance and pop culture that continues to draw visitors from around the world. For some, it's a place to connect with nature and ancient traditions. For others, it's a canvas onto which we project our cosmic curiosities and fears. As our fascination with the unknown continues to evolve, so too will the stories of Devil's Tower. Whether seen through the lens of science, spirituality or science fiction, this majestic and mysterious formation stands resilient, inviting all who dare to explore the mysteries it holds.
I talked to one of the locals. She said after the filming of that movie, she said it was not uncommon. Normally it takes her 5 minutes to get to work. She said it would take her 2 hours to get to work because it did increase tourism for the area quite a bit. A few years ago, they had a forest fire, so like all of the trees around the base, there's hardly any left. They're all just little burnt sticks, and so you can see a lot more of the base of it now after that happened.
Like it said that people started reporting stuff and saying that they'd saw stuff after the movie. So how many reports and stuff was out there before the movie? Did that just kind of entice people to kind of,
go out and look for stuff?
You always got to deal with somebody making.
You're going to need more. Well, if you go from 2 guys a week showing up to 2,000 guys a week showing up, they're increasing their odds of seeing something. There's more people watching.
That's true. Get a couple more clips about it too here.
It's kind of when you pull up there, it's kind of ominous. It's just like there it is sticking up out of the ground. It doesn't look like anything else. So it's kind of like, what the hell?
Looks massive when you're there in person, doesn't
it? It's over 800 feet tall.
Here's a couple more clips about it.
Cool.
My name is
Gen Xers, come on. We know what they were looking for.
Yep. Then you got this guy. He's kind of talking
They're
pretty
looking
good
for them
about
spacecraft. Yeah, it takes quite a while to walk the trail, but if you want to climb up there, you got to be like, rock climber, certified and trained and how to deal with top rope and all that and get up there. But they've had some flyovers with drones and helicopters, and unfortunately, there's no alien base up there. But I know that's what the Gen Xers want to go up there and look for the aliens. Come on. I was like,
Holy shit, my man has the most incredible eyebrows I've ever seen. What the fuck are you doing making conspiracy videos? You should be making POV thirst traps or working at Sephora. But unfortunately, Michelangelo here decided that his career path would be being wrong about geology. You may know this bad boy as Devil's Tower, though its actual name is Matotopia, which is its indigenous name, which meant Bear Lodge or Bear Teepee. And the indigenous folklore surrounding this site, claiming that it was a trunk of a giant tree that was scraped by a bear, has been turned into a lovely TikTok conspiracy theory, which seems just about as disrespectful as renaming it to Devil's Tower, but I guess that's not really my call to make. Either way, this is bullshit. Matotopia is a columnar basalt monadnock, which is a bit of a mouthful, but I'll break it down. This is what happens when magma slowly cools into basalt, and because it is a standalone mountain, it is a monadnock. This is another example of columnar basalt from the Giant's Causeway. Unless Stencil Brows wants to tell us that this was a giant ocean tree, so why don't we just let indigenous people have their folklore instead of fucking with it for TikTok clout?
So he kind of broke it down a little bit there, didn't he?
you can definitely see the brachiated basalt on the top. The basalt's on the top's kind of crumbly, and then there's some chunks are broken off around the base. So I agree with the basalt, but what was it before it turned to basalt, or was it just basalt that came out of the ground and was pushed up by some tectonic event? Why aren't there little ones everywhere? Why aren't there thousands of them everywhere? There's just one in Wyoming. The whole United States, there's one Devil's Tower, and there's nothing else like it. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, you think you'd have different locations and stuff if that was kind of the case.
If it was a tree and that was the trunk, it would be like thousands of feet high. Paul Bunyan couldn't even cut that down.
Since we're talking about UFOs and stuff like that, here's just a UFO video that I'd seen on there.
Here's 3 of the best UFO videos you've ever seen, Pooshkis! Tell me what you think of these amazing videos in the comments section. Shabadoo, Booshkis! Shabadoo!
The guy's prepared if the roof caves in. He's got his cheese hat on.
Oh, he's wild.
I don't know. First, it kind of looked like some drones at first, but then it kind of looked like I don't know, like maybe some CGI or some lights, like the lights were coming together, and I don't know. I mean, I've seen.
See, I think that's a problem we're going to run into a lot.
It almost looked like.
I think it's something we're going to run into
Invaders
a lot.
or asteroids, where it was shooting. Right. The one was shooting at the other one, then it kind of went hollow, then it turned sideways and went into that trapezoid-looking thing, like on Superman when they trapped the guys from his planet, in that thing until the mirror broke and then they all escaped. It looked kind of like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard moving forward and saying, trying to believe really what you could see in the air and stuff like that because of drones, because of the securitizations that they're doing now. I mean, they're doing whole 4th of July light shows now with drones instead of fireworks.
Yeah, if it looks like an LED light, probably an LED light. But if it looks like it's on fire and then it implodes and then takes off, it could be something different. Most drones don't have afterburners yet.
Well, then I got a little break for you, Phil.
Ooh. I could have used a little more cowbell.
More cowbell.
You're getting down.
Because you can never have enough cowbell.
So now we're kind of, this is the part I kind of been waiting to talk
taking
about.
That cowbell.
Yeah. It's exciting where you're at, where you're staying the night at tonight. We can see it there in the background.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about that. Tell us where you're at, what you're doing tonight.
Yeah. We're at the Stanley up in Estes Park, Colorado. And the road coming up was 30 mile an hour all the way. And it was raining. We're in a canyon. And Cammie's arms are tired from holding onto the truck. And she's never been out of Kentucky. So the mountain roads are a little terrifying. But we made it up here. The Stanley was built by the guy who made the Stanley steamer. There's one in the lobby. We'll check that out later. There's a late night tour we're going to go on, and they don't allow active investigations, but you can go on the tours, and you're not allowed to take pictures. But if you're just walking around the hotel, you can take pictures. But we want to come up here because it's supposed to be highly active. I know, was it Jim Carrey? When he was filming Dumb and Dumber here, he was afraid to stay in the hotel. He stayed like one night and he left. He would just come in for filming and leave. And things happen.
Yeah, we got a good bring
we're
in
staying
here.
in. It's like the what?
We got a good bring in here on it. Check this little intro out.
Sweet.
See, they put that little video. They put it with the Shining music.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, Jim Carrey?
Yeah,
What if I told you that while filming Dumb and Dumber at the Stanley Hotel, something scared comedian Jim Carrey so much that he left the hotel in the middle of the night? Welcome to the Ghost Guy Files. The Stanley Hotel is considered one of the most haunted spots in the entire country, and it has become a cultural landmark for horror buffs and paranormal investigators due to the novel and the movie The Shining. Over the years, many people have fled from the hotel due to paranormal experiences, and one of those people is reportedly Jim Carrey. Part of the 1994 comedic classic Dumb and Dumber was filmed at the Stanley, and it is here where our story begins. According to the story, Jim wanted to stay inside the hotel, and he asked for room 217. And 3 short hours later, he came out, refusing to go back in, and left the hotel. Room 217 is one of the most sought-after rooms in the entire hotel. It is also considered to be one of the most haunted. It is the exact same room where Stephen King and his wife stayed in when they were touring the Stanley, where he had a terrible dream, and it was that dream mixed in with the Stanley Hotel that gave him the idea for his horror classic, The Shining. Nobody knows what happened to Jim that night in room 217, and even to this day, he has refused to talk about it to anybody. Would you stay in room 217?
would. It's got a waiting list. Room 217.
Oh, yeah?
We're staying, there's 2 old houses. There's 2 older houses over here. And you can't really see them from here because all the trees and stuff, bushes. But we drove around like 45 minutes. After driving around for 45 minutes, I finally went back and got the lady. And she's like, "Oh, here you go." And then We finally found it. So there's no number on it. So we think we're in the right room.
You got a lot of people walking in and out behind you back there.
Yeah, I'm out here by Corn Gardens, and because it was raining earlier, so I can duck under the little alcove here if I do, and kind of give you a lay of the place a little bit. Right here, you come out here. There's the people you love become ghosts inside of you, and like this, you keep them alive. So that's pretty cool. With Stanley, and then we got some water function over here, kind of cool. And you go down here and have your and then we're out here in the mountains. I hope you guys can see the mountains out here. It's beautiful up here, and
some of those people walking back in there and stuff, you need to ask them if they stayed there before. See if anybody wants to talk to you, man. See if they stayed there before. If they see anything
here before? No. I think
all there for
everybody's
the new
newbies
deal.
here. They're all in for the same experience. The new deal, the new paranormal experience. Or not. Some people come here for that. Some people come here and hope that don't happen. And other people are like, well, whatever.
I mean, it's a huge the story behind it and everything's all huge, and I don't think there's probably a paranormal investigator out there that it's not on their bucket list to go to, or at least has heard about it or the stories behind it.
There's the main hotel. There's a lodge next door. They have these new residences up here where you could go. And look like his ghost left his drink. Come on. Anyway, they have these brand new houses up here. You can stay, you bring the whole family, and you can stay in like a house. And there's people live up there full time. It's not just Stanley Hotel anymore. It's a whole village, the Stanley Village. They got restaurants, stores, ice cream, bars. They got a little bit of everything here. It's like a little city. It's pretty cool.
Well, I, for one, am hoping that something happens to you tonight. Not bad.
Well, the lady in the reason room 217 they believe is active is I think it was a flood or something knocked out the power. So Stanley decided to have gas lamps in every room. So room 217 had the gas light blew out. So it was just blowing gas everywhere. It had a gas leak, and it didn't have a shut off. And the cleaning lady, she didn't know it. And she walked in with a candle lit to see where she was going, and all that gas, it blew up. And it blew a hole in the floor and blew her down to the McGregor room below. And she ended up down in there. And if it wasn't for her corset that she was wearing that held all her, organs in place and everything, she wouldn't have made it. She actually recovered in the hospital, and she actually died of natural causes of old age. Lived up into her 80. Oh, they got a bell going off. I guess it tells you what time it is.
Yeah, we got this one here.
Stanley is one of the spookiest hotels in the country.
It's known for a lot of its paranormal activity.
The Stanley Hotel is best known for its paranormal activity.
One of the scariest paranormal activity spots in the world.
You can clearly see a woman in the window.
It is considered, I'm told, a portal to their spirit world.
Is the place really haunted? It's haunted. And it's been haunted for a long time.
No.
Oh, what the? Oh my God, that was scary. Did you see it? I heard.
No way. Yes. There is no way that just happened.
That's where we're going. It's the cowboy attic. Too late.
Yeah, I was reading a story about a couple. I was reading a story about a couple that had stayed there, and I guess the lady, she had woke up in the middle of the night, had a real bad nightmare. She said that in the dream she was outside herself, watching herself sleep, but looking around the room, and she kept seeing a male figure standing there, and he was moving stuffed animals around. Which is funny. You were talking about the stuffed animals earlier from Deadwood, but was moving these stuffed animals around and putting them around and then just smothering her with them, putting them up on her. And the room kept shrinking and shrinking. So she had woke up, told her husband about the dream. Well, then that next day they did the tour of the Stanley. And she was talking to the guy that was going in, and she told him about the dream. She was like, man, it's just a really livid, real strange dream that I had. And so apparently, the room that they were staying in was a room that a surgeon had stayed in when they had a live-in surgeon in that area. And that's what he would do. He would dance all these stuffed animals around and toys and stuff for kids, because he would specialize in the pediatric side of it and run it. So kind of strange that she had a dream about that in the same room that it was going on.
That's pretty wild. There's supposedly some other paranormal rooms too, but
well, I was reading it said like the whole fourth floor, like 435, and a couple other ones are really active up on the fourth floor. That used to be an attic, and a lot of the kids and stuff would go up there and play before they'd made it another level to the hotel. So sometimes you'll hear kids up there. You'll hear running up and down the hallway, and you'll hear the kids laughing and some of them crying sometimes. And I mean, kids are always creepy anyways when it comes to that.
There's a lot of kids here, so it could be real kids they're hearing too, out running around having their shenanigans, trying to scare each other.
So this would be through the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, they're up late. I'm gonna go on the tour, and then maybe they'll give us some ideas of some hot spots, and then we'll probably just check out the whole place. Just do a little.
Oh yeah, definitely. Then hopefully next week we'll talk about it some more, and have some pictures and stuff and videos maybe. Like I said, I hope you see.
Yeah, we get the evidence. I do too. Hopefully, I'll wake up with some stuffed animals, some little buffaloes from this trip, or antelopes.
This is a video from another paranormal group that was there, and I guess doing some tests.
Dizzy when I came in here.
Can you do that again for us, Lucy? Can you please knock it back up? You've been doing a good job so far.
Wow, it's going up.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Lower for you. I feel pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, we have one over here.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think he might have been. I think might have been a little manipulation going on there. I don't know.
I'm always convinced somebody's got a string, and we're just making a cool TikTok video.
If it was on a table, and they would allow you to examine it really good and walk away, and it did it on its own, no strings, no magnets, no air blowing, no nothing.
They waved something right in front of it so you could see there wasn't a string.
I think his fingers moved just a little bit, and he was like working it. He was working that thing vertical.
Oh no, let's watch it again.
Dizzy when I came in here.
Can you do that again for us, Lucy? Can you please knock it back up? You've been doing a good job so far.
Wow, it's going up.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Lower for you. I feel pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, we have one over here.
I don't know. It didn't look like the hand was moving at all.
No, his hand wasn't moving. I think his fingers were jiggling a little bit, little quiver. And then who's Lucy? I gotta find out who Lucy is. I'll be running around all night looking for Lucy. Where you at, Lucy?
Maybe you'll find her. And maybe you won't want to find her.
My grandma's named Lucy. She passed away. Maybe she'll show up and help us out.
Here's something talking about room 217.
Let's travel with this haunted LA girl to Estes Park, Colorado to the Stanley Hotel. This was the hotel that inspired Stephen King to write The Shining. Now, according to the story of the hotel, in 1974, King and his wife Tabitha spent the night in room 217 while on vacation during their short residency in Boulder, Colorado. And upon arrival, they discovered that they were the only overnight guests. The hotel was empty and closed up for the season. King and his family found themselves in this ginormous hotel by themselves. Him and his wife were even served dinner in an empty dining room accompanied by canned orchestral music. King felt that the universe had put him and his family in that hotel by themselves. So that night in room 217, King fell asleep and had a dream which would inspire him to write one crazy novel. According to King, I dreamed of my 3-year-old son running through the corridors, looking back over his shoulder, eyes wide screaming. He was being chased by a fire hose. I woke up with a tremendous jerk, sweating all over, within an inch of falling out of bed. Got up, lit a cigarette, sat in the chair looking out the window at the Rockies. By the time the cigarette was done, I had the bones of the book firmly set in my mind. In 1980, The Shining became the basis for the film adaptation directed by Stanley Kubrick, followed by a miniseries in 97.
Here's Johnny.
You know, look, hey, it's funny you said that. So, you know, that wasn't in the script. So what he did was they were talking about the doors, and they said that Jack Nicholson was so good at cutting down doors. So they'd went through 93 different doors to get the right shot for it. And on that last one, when he busted his head through, that's when he said, "Here's Johnny." And Kubrick didn't even know what he was doing. He just thought it was just ad libs, so he left it in the movie. And then after the movie had aired and come out, a lot of people talked to Kubrick about taking it. So that's when he found out, you know, that he kind of got it from Johnny Carson on the Johnny Carson show.
What you doing, buddy? We got a bunny. What you doing? I don't know if that was paranormal or not, but a really friendly rabbit just came by. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, we saw it.
He came right up to me. This whole trip's been weird with animals, man. We've seen those Dodge truck animals, you know, with the curly horns, those rams. We've seen like 3 of them up at this road here, and then we saw some antelopes. We've seen buffalo. We saw the prairie dogs, and then this weird owl that goes in the prairie dog holes. It's been a whole trip of critters, man. It's been amazing with animal sightings. I don't know if it's paranormal or not, but it's pretty cool.
So while you're on here on live, can you go in anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know if the feed will cut out. I can try.
Yeah, try to give us a little peek in there. Let us see it.
I'll see if I can.
See if anybody wants to talk to us about it. It'd be cool if you could talk to like one of the workers there.
Maybe.
See if they've seen anything.
I don't. Well, I don't know. We could try.
Or see if any of these people want to get in there and say hi.
Maybe. Did you guys see the sign?
Yeah, that's pretty neat. It's definitely massive. That thing's huge, man.
Been here before.
I definitely don't like where you're at right now. So he has some weird transmissions going on. Nope, that cut it. He'll have to get signed back in there and stuff like that. So, anybody watching or anything? Anybody got any questions or kind of talk about anything really? Stuff was pretty neat. Definitely somewhere I want to go. I definitely want to see the Stanley Hotel. See if we can get back in touch with old Phil. We're running that. We'll just run another one of those Stanley videos. Check that out. Hopefully we can kind of get back in with Phil there. On location at the Stanley.
The Stanley is one of the spookiest hotels in the country.
It's known for a lot of its paranormal
The
activity.
Stanley Hotel is best known for its paranormal activity.
One of the scariest paranormal activity spots in the world.
You can clearly see a woman in the window.
It is considered, I'm told, a portal to their spirit world.
Is the place really haunted? It's haunted. And it's been haunted for a long time.
No.
Oh my god, that was scary. Did you see it? I heard.
No way. Yes. There is no way that just happened.
That's where we're going. It's the cowboy attic. Too late.
Definitely a creepy place. Definitely would love to go there myself too at some point. So, sorry this week. It is going to be a shorter show. Of course, we didn't have a guest on tonight where we had Phil going out live in location at the Stanley. And hopefully next week he's going to have some cool videos and stuff. Maybe something happens to him tonight. That would be super cool. And we're going to talk about that next week and kind of get that going. So, as of that, that's all we got tonight. Sorry again about cutting that short for you guys. Hope everybody has a good night. Any questions or anything, though, feel free. Give us a call, reach out to us, let us know, and tune in next week so we can kind of get some of those reveals and stuff of what Phil finds out at the Stanley Hotel tonight while he's staying there.